Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's fly the lovely Phoenix A319 from Washington National Airport over to the lovely upcoming mkstudios Key West. I'm really looking forward to that destination as I've always appreciated that little airport, and well, operating airliners into and out of it is just something special with that super short runway over there. So, short runway ops over here in Washington, short runway down there in Key West, and with that I'd say let's get right into this one and prepare our A319 for today's service. Lovely little American livery over here and, well, lovely small aircraft as well. So, follow me into the flight deck and then we can start setting our A319 up for today's service. So, starting with a couple of basics over here. The engine master levers are off, mode selector norm, the weather radar is off, landing gear lever down, and the wipers are off, battery voltage more than 25.5. Then let's go ahead and turn on the external power, and while all of that is loading, we can head right down into the electronic flight bag and the Phoenix app in order to import our flight plan. Now, let's go ahead and have a look. We are departing Washington and this is going to be our route of flight down there. As you can see, kind of crossing that jet stream and then crossing an area of CBs up to flight level 370. Now, airport weather-wise, we are going to be fairly fine here. Washington, calm winds, temperature 12 degrees, few clouds, and over in Key West we're looking at clear skies, temperature 26 degrees. Beautiful, isn't it? And the forecast is going to stay just that same way. Now, looking into the alternates, Fort Myers is our primary alternate, and as you can see, they got beautiful weather conditions today as well. Some showers of rain tomorrow, not much of our business. So beautiful weather overall. Departing Washington at 13:55, we're going to arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule in Key West, and we'll be cruising in flight level 360 for today's trip. Now, let's go ahead and have a look into the fuel. So, 19,400 freedom units is the minimum plus taxi. So, if we call it 20,000 pounds, then we should be good to go. So, let's go right down into the Phoenix app, mass and balance, planned fuel, and we call this 20,000. Then let's hit apply and load, and we can do all of that through GSX, please. Now, while all of that good stuff is in progress, we can go ahead over here and first of all we'll tune all three ADRs into nav mode, then we can do the APU fire test, and that's looking fantastic. Our radios are set up for the time being like that, and then we can go ahead and check the technical status of our plane. Recall for 3 seconds. Is looking fantastic, and then let's move down into the ATSU over here, AOC menu, flight init, and initialize data request. So while we're waiting, just a quick word of appreciation over here for the lovely repaint of this airplane with all the custom stickers in the flight deck over here. The quality of repaints available in the Phoenix Manager is just really outstanding, and I think it's Atarium or J Aviation, one of the two, who painted this one, and they're just doing fantastic work, aren't they? Alright, so here's our flight plan. DCA to Key West, 2 hours 34 minutes flight time has been uplinked down here. Alright, then let's go ahead and move on and go to data, aircraft status, A319, V2500 engine, nav DB is up to date, scratchpad messages are checked, and flight plan request is on the way. While we're waiting for that to arrive, we can move right back into our electronic flight bag and do the departure performance down here. Synchronize preliminary load sheet, synchronize weather, intersections we don't have any, so we're gonna calculate the full length, and this gives us a config 2 takeoff, 72 degrees, and the speeds are looking fantastic. Okay, so we know that we can depart up to 164,000 pounds, and then we're looking good for that. So lastly, let's go ahead and grab a couple of charts here. And well, since we are flying an airline from the United States over here, I guess it's probably realistic to be using Jefferson charts here. So let's go ahead and link that. and then use our Navigraph charts. Here we go. So, start charts. Interesting, it didn't actually pin anything. Okay, would kind of expected it to do that automatically. But here we go, airport charts, parking gates, and for the departure we are looking at the JW4 on-off departure, and that's all pinned now. Beautiful. Okay, our EFB setup is done. Then moving back down over here, we got a couple company messages. Let's see what they've sent us. Atsu, AOC menu, received messages, 2 load sheets. I'm just gonna go with the second one straight away. And that's American 2660 on the 815 Alpha Whiskey, which is our aircraft. 2 pilots, 3 cabin crew. All the figures are looking good, and 128 passengers, so that's a full load. Portable water is full, and all that stuff is looking good. Alright, accept. Lovely. So that stuff's done. Then let's do the aircraft acceptance. So our oxygen is looking good, the hydraulics are looking good, the engine oil is full, flaps are up, and that agrees with the lever, spoilers are retracted. And then let's release that parking brake here momentarily and do a brake test, giving us 1000 psi. That's good, and the parking brake is set again. Wonderful. So that stuff is completed. I like it. Then let's go ahead and start with the cockpit preparation up here. Standard stuff. You're well familiar with this, so I'm not going to comment everything that I'm doing over here. Of course, we are going to wait a little bit with the seatbelt signs, as we are still still refueling the aircraft. Okay, batteries are charging. That's looking fantastic. Fuel pumps are going to remain off for the time being, since we are still fueling. That's looking good for engine number 1, and fire test is looking good for engine number 2. The right hand side is set, then we can move up to the very front, and for here we do need some weather, and we got a QNH of 3001. So let's tune that right up here, 3001, set left side and set right side, and in hectopascals that's 1016. Here we go. Snap horizon is aligned. Time, it's the 21st of February. That's all looking good. We'll do the frequencies later. The weather radar is set, the middle is set, the right side is set. Well then, let's go ahead and start our FMS setup. And for that we are going to grab our flight... What are you doing? Why is Navigraph signing me out of everything these days? This is like the 6th or 7th video that I'm recording in a row where I've been signed out of all my Navigraph features. Okay, well, here we are. So let's get started. We're going from DCA to Key West, and we have got an alternate in Fort Myers. American 2660 is our flight number, cost NX30, flight level 360, ground temperature 12. For our departure, we're leaving runway 1, and we got the JW4 departure towards Arson. Insert, and for the arrival in the Key West, we're looking at the on-off approach runway 9 at the moment, Kraken 1 arrival, and we're coming in from Gigi, for which we actually do not have a transition. Okay, that's fine with me. Tempe insert. So then, let's go ahead and cross-check that SID. So, JW4 departure. Daylight charts, please. Leaving runway 1, straight ahead, left turn 331, inbound to Rev G, maximum 220 and above 1500. So, constraints, plan, and we are gonna go in 331, inbound to Rev G. That's looking good. Then continue towards Beverly, RG, and Cockley, and from there it's a left-hand turn towards Hafner above 3000, and then the JDub. So we got half an hour above 3000, Jade up, and then we'll continue via Taipans, Scorn, and Arsen. So we got Taipans, Scorn, and Arsen. Alright, that's all looking good. Top altitude 5000 is set. And that's it for the time being. Let's also just have a quick look into the arrival. And that's actually looking quite good. Coming in via cheats. And the arrival goes straight towards Gigi. Okay, so we join at Gigi, Sting, cheats, and let's just see if we actually got a cheats transition here. We do. Okay, and now that's actually looking fantastic. Alright, beautiful. So, now come the emergencies, and this one might actually be a little interesting one, because we are right in the middle of Washington over here. So, gonna be interesting to see. We do not have any engine outset available for that airport by Black Box. That's a bit unfortunate. He does know that we got NADP2, but that's about it. So, looking over here, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna fly. Imagine that. You have an engine failure. You climb straight ahead. You know what you're gonna find over here? The White House. Ain't gonna do that. Okay, so we actually have to follow the SID. There's no way around that. We can't maintain the 1500, but there is no way. I mean, over here's the Pentagon. Over here's the White House and the Capitol. I would love to see what the real-world engine out procedures are looking like for this one. Probably just left turn, follow the SID, something like that. I don't know. In any case, that makes it easy because they can just copy the active flight plan. And, well, I am still going to enter the engine out, or at least the extended centerline over here. Let's see, runway heading is 007, but yeah, 007. Okay. So something like that. Okay, well then, on to the init pages, and next page, let's see, 119.3 and 25, block fuel 20, scheduled wind is a 43 knot headwind, and for our fuel we're looking at a contingency of 0.7, an alternate of 3, and final 2.3, like that. Okay then, for our takeoff performance we have a flaps 2 takeoff. We've got 72 degrees flex temperature. And then we are looking at speeds 29, 29, 33. So, noise abatement procedure number 2, so acceleration in 3010, engine out acceleration 1510, nothing pre-selected, and KDCA 01 going into this. Okay, lovely. So with that, we are done with our FMS setup. Then let's go up here and quickly get that stuff done, but that's basically all set already. So refueling is complete. That's looking good. Ground flight deck, mind your ears, oxygen test. And the same should basically be done on your side as well. Alright, lovely. So then we're done with our setup, so I suppose we are just gonna go straight into the departure briefing. So we're leaving Washington National runway 01 via the JDUP for departure, initial climb 5000, and the minimum safe altitude for this one is, yeah, depending on how you want to take it, the actual one would be about 3000 feet, the political one's probably a little bit higher. Nope, actually just 2500. Okay, easy going, so 2500 is the MSA. Extra fuel and time. We got 300 pounds giving us 12 minutes. Okay, so we are going to taxi out runway 01. Hotspots for taxi out are going to be the crossing of runway 4, which is an active departure runway at the moment. Then we got that hotspot number 3 over there, which is aircraft joining taxiway Juliet inadvertently continue onto Golf or taxiway Mike and enter runway 0119 without clearance. Okay, that's the main departure runway, so I mean probably Kilo 1 Juliet all the way down with a crossing at runway 4. Something like that, probably. Okay, well, that's gonna be fine. Stop margin is 1,289 feet plus the TUS effect. Engine out sit to follow the standard SID climbing 3,000, and then we'll see whether we are gonna come back here at DCA or whether we are going to divert over to Dulles, which probably has the longer runways available. It'll all depend a little bit on what's actually wrong and what we are gonna do for that departure. In case off, we've discussed that, so normal ops, 220 knot restriction here, noise abatement procedure number 1, nothing special, nothing non-standard except for hopefully a lovely view, and that's it. Do you have any threats for today's departure? Well, I've just got one, that's VFR traffic, so good look outside, and we'll probably maximize the use of the autopilot just to avoid conflict with any of those VFR aircraft. You have questions or suggestions? Nope. Lovely, then that's our departure briefing complete. Okay, starting the APU, and they just closed the doors, plus we do have a company message, so I'm kind of hoping that the boarding is already complete. And it looks like it indeed. So low cheating compliance with addition number 2, zero fuel weight 119.2. So that's down 100 pounds and 29.6. Alright, block fuel 20, giving us takeoff weight of 138.9 versus 138.8, close enough. 128 passengers and 2 infants are looking fantastic. And then we've got takeoff CG of 29.6, so we are looking at something over here. So that's an up trim, call it 0.2. Okay, like that. Lovely. Then we are done with all that stuff, so let's go ahead and grab our clearance, and then we're ready to go. So, washing clearance, 12825. Washing clearance, American 2660, request IFR clearance to Key West.
Stand by, you're number 1.
APU available. Ground cockpit, you can disconnect all the equipment now.
American 2660 cleared to Key West via the JW4 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.85, squawk 5417. Expect runway 1.
American 2660 is cleared to Key West via the JW4 departure, climbing 5,000, expect level 360 10 minutes after, departure 119.85, squawk 5417, and expect runway 1. Alright, 5,000, runway 1, JW4, 360 10 after, and 1985. Is set down there, squawk 5417. Alright, lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of American Airlines, welcome aboard our Airbus A319 on our flights.
Welcome aboard American Airlines. Flight
And she's talking over me.
660,
Okay, in that
departing from
case,
Washington, Reagan National,
I'm done.
and heading to Key West International Airport. We kindly ask that you take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seat.
Okay, cockpit preparation checklist. Gear bits and covers
If you
removed.
require any
Fuel
assistance,
quantity
please do not
20,000
hesitate to reach out to any
pounds
member of the
balanced. Seatbelts on.
crew. Thank you for
ADRs.
choosing American Airlines.
Nav and altimeters QNH 3001. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning from Flight Deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of America, I would like to welcome you all on board our Airbus A319 on our flight to Key West. The flight time today is going to be 2 hours and 35 minutes, expecting a smooth flight at 36,000 feet. For the time being, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us, and if there's anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome on board. So, ground point 7. Washington ground, American 2660, requesting pushback and startup.
American 2660, pushback and startup approved, tail west.
Pushback and startup approved, tail west, American 2660. Before start checklist, parking brakes set, takeoff speeds and thrust, V1 129, VR 129, V2 133, flex 72, windows closed, beacon on, before start checklist complete.
Cabin attendants, arm doors,
Ground flight deck, pushback and start approved, and tail,
heading to
I
Key West
think she said west. May I release the parking brake?
2 hours and 35 minutes. Please pay close attention to the following safety
Okay, so that's just gonna be nose right here. Alright, releasing brakes, and you close start the pushback. We're standing by for your signal to start the engines. Roger that. And off we go.
The seatbelt sign is illuminated. Please return your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position and open your window blinds for takeoff. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode, and larger devices should be stowed securely.
So, ground flight, we'll be starting engines 1 and 2 in that sequence, beginning with engine number 1 now.
Oxygen masks will
Clear
drop
one.
automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Life vests are located under your seat. Put them on and inflate them after leaving the aircraft. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions.
4782, taxi to the ramp.
If any electronic device becomes hot,
Brickyard
shows signs of
4782,
danger,
taxi to
inform
parking
a
via
crew
Sierra
member
November Kilo.
immediately. The safety information card in your seat pocket contains all
November Kilo,
details.
Brickyard
Thank
4782.
you for your attention.
Right, pushback completed, set brakes please. Parking brake set, and we have a good start in 1, starting 2. Clear 2. Okay. Engine 1 is showing avail, engine 2 start. So I suppose here's start position 5. So I guess our pushback is good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. Alright, and they're pushing that company over there as well, but he's got the CFM engines, so he's gonna be a lot quicker. And hey, are they finally using the pushback tuck here? That's new, isn't it? Interesting change with, say, intentions here, that they are finally using the tuck. Or what are they doing down there? Pulling him back in. Already broken. Okay, no comment on that. Okay, ground. 2 good starts. Prepare the airplane for taxi. See you in front. Bye-bye. And there's the ramp agent, and he is holding a pin. Beautiful. Okay, and here's the second good start. Avail. So, the flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. And neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. After start checklist. On the ice. Off. Ecom status. Checked. Pitch trim. There's 29.5%. Rudder trim neutral. Afterstart checklist complete. American 2660, request taxi.
American 2660, runway 1 taxi via Kilo 1, Juliet.
Runway 1, taxi via Kilo 1 at Juliet, American 2660. Okay, so straight out, Kilo 1, right on a Juliet. And we're clear on the left side, and we're clear on the right side. And yeah, I don't know what that guy is doing, but... brakes off. Brake check. Pressure 0. Is he finally moving across the line? No, he's not. Don't ask me what they're doing over there. I think it may actually just be an animation included in the scenery, as I do think that Yabiki has included a couple of those in the airport. Or in the add-on. So, that 737 MAX is just about at the line. But that should be good with our wing. Just to be 100% sure there. That's frickin' tight. Okay. Left side's clear, right side is clear, and Juliet is the next to the right. Here's 10 knots. So we are driving the short Airbus today. Gotta take a little care of that while we are doing the turns, especially tight ones like this. Okay, no changes to the briefing. Then we're just waiting for the cabin to get ready. Looks like there's 2 aircraft ahead of us at the holding point, so that should be easy. I just love how the small Airbuses are accelerating on idle here. There's 30 knots already. Gotta do a little bit of brake energy management here. Especially with a short runway like that.
Southwest 990, taxi to the gate.
Southwest 990, taxi.
So let's actually do it like the book says and go right down to 10 knots. Our cabin still needs a bit of time as well.
Kilo 2, Kilo Southwest 990.
But look at how it's immediately accelerating when we're releasing that brake. American 2660, are we clear to cross runway 4?
American 2660, cross runway 4.
Crossing runway 4, American 2660, thank you. Okay, clear to cross, and the left side is clear, the right side is clear.
American 2660, roger, continue taxi.
Okay, and the cabin is ready as well now. Taxi checklist. Flight controls checked. Flap setting, conf 2, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine mode selector, norm, and ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Okay, then we're aligned behind the company Max over there, who is already lining up. Beautiful.
American 2660, contact tower on 119.1.
119.1, American 2660. Okay, could you please set that for me? Washington Tower, American 2660, ready for departure. Okay, park and brake set, and the Max is going.
Reagan Tower, runway 1, hold short, you're number 1 behind the 73 Max.
Okay then. So the max should be gone momentarily here. Let's see. He did make full use of that runway. But okay, just 7,000 feet of runway, so he better does.
American 2660, no delay, 737 on a 5-mile final runway 1 with 360 at 5. RNAV Rev G, cleared for takeoff.
And of Rev G, runway 1, clear takeoff without delay, American 2660. Coming through, prepare for departure. Alright, lineup checklist. Let's take off runway. It's runway 1 full length. TCAS. TA-RA, PAX 1 and 2, off, lineup checklist complete. Alright then, we pay the full runway, we take the full runway. So you ready to go?
0, 1.
Then I'd say take off. Manflex 72 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Just gonna love that raw engine voice here. knots. V1 rotate. Not a lot of runway left there. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav, check. Over to departure, American 2660. Autopilot 1. Thrust climb, auto thrust. And that's 1985, huh? Washington departure, American 2660, passing 2500, climbing 5000.
American 2660, Potomac departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000, turn left heading 215, vectors to Hafner, then on course.
Climb maintain 21000, left heading 215 to Hafner, American 2660. Open climb heading, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. So, to Hafner.
American 2660, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Flap 0. Speed check, flap 0. Climb and maintain level 210, American 2660. 21,000 blue.
American 2660, maintain 210, cleared.
And American 2660, confirm you want us to proceed direct Hafner now? Because that's how I understood him.
American 2660, cleared.
Roger, direct to Hafner, American 2660. Alright,
American 2660,
now,
roger, direct Hafner.
and climb. So, acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoilers retracted, gear up, packs on, acceleration flow pattern complete. So, my apologies for the little lag that we had over the past 2 minutes or so. For some reason, when my computer just froze on that departure, we ran into that trouble, but that should be fixed now. It's really...
American 2660, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, American 2660. 26,000 blue. Yeah, I'm really not sure why that stuff keeps happening, but it is a little annoying with those lags. Alright, going through 10, we're gonna leave the lights on, release our passengers, airports, and clear and copy.
Dear guests, we are pleased to inform you that the use of approved electronic devices is now permitted in...
Okay, so, cruising 360, optimum 360, maximum 390, so that's pretty much an easy decision. And with that, we have covered everything we needed to do over here. So, I'd say for now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I see you all on the approach into Key West. Altimeter 3003, expect the honor from Runway 9 via Chats American 2660. Alright my friends, and with that we are already approaching the Florida Keys, which we can see coming in front at the very 12 o'clock. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the approach that we are about to fly. So it is going to be the on-off approach Runway 9er, and I want you guys to have a good look at that approach chart over here, as that is a fun one to fly. Now, not because it would be procedurally complex or something, but for the simple fact that it is an absolutely magnificent approach in terms of the visibility outside. But there is one thing on the chart that should get you a little worried, and that's the MSA. 15,000 feet. And then you're looking outside. Remember, the MSA is always given within 25 miles from the airfield. You're looking outside and you're like, what the hell have they been smoking? American 2660 reducing 250 knots. And then you're like, okay, what the hell are they thinking? And well, what they're thinking is that there's a couple of balloons that they got for research that are stripped to cables. And we can see that on the caution over here, balloon and cable to 14,000 feet in restricted areas, just to the northeast of Key West. And well, that's the problem. That's the reason for the MSA, because you don't want anyone to fly into those cables. Alright.
2660, I hate to do this to you. We're experiencing radio interference on the tower frequency. Hold at GG as published, left turns, just a few minutes.
Holding over GG, American 2660. Alright, present course as inbound, that's 209. And insert... Wait a moment, left turns he said. Okay, here we go. Holding over GG, left turns, and then we got alt constraint. American 2660, can we maintain 10,000 feet? Thank you, maintaining 10,000, American 2660. Alt. Okay, so they do have some trouble down at the airport. We'll enter the holding for now. And looking down at the fuel prediction, we got 17 minutes of holding time available over here. Key West is not an airport that I would commit to, so if something goes wrong, we'll be right off to Fort Myers. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and use a little bit of the time that we just won to talk about the approach that we are going to fly. And as mentioned, that is the RNAV approach Runway 9er, starting at Chats in 3000, maximum 210, down to ATNAV, Busby, and then Runway 09, and the missed approach is climbed to 2000 to Burpee and hold, and that's literally straight ahead to join the holding. Talked about the MSA already, and what's interesting here is the LNAV and VNAV approach is not authorized below a temperature of plus 12 degrees Celsius. That's gotta be the highest temperature that I've seen so far for any cold temperature limitations on an approach. But then again, I suppose on the Florida Keys it's probably not gonna play a role like almost ever. Then again, I do remember on a recent flight to Orlando they actually had snow over there, so I suppose it can happen occasionally. Well then, let's go ahead and start the approach briefing and see what we're up to. So, we'll be flying the RNAV Runway 09 approach by the truck and one arrival. The MSA is 15,000 and the minimum is 425 feet barrow. For the go-around, straight at and climbing 2,000 in to Burpee and extra fuel time, we have 17 minutes now. Let's see for how long that is actually going to last. So, the approach is the RNAV 09er with flight director guidance and final approach mode. We'll turn the flight directors off once we have the runway in sight and go birds on. The approach will be config full approach with auto brake medium, and we will be using maximum reverse to bring the airplane to a stop. Stop margin is not going to be a lot, as we only have like 5,000 feet of runway available, 1,500 meters. So that's definitely not a lot. Let's see, landing weight 126. Like that, and we'll take medium auto brake, maximum reverse, auto thrust on, and we can apply that weather. And as you can see, the stop margin is about, yeah, a whopping 30 feet. So it's possible, but barely just. So no flaring to eternity, just throw it right down into the touchdown markers. Well, and that's what we got over here. Apart from that, nothing special, nothing non-standard, and threats for the approach. Well, the only one I see may be the fuel situation over here, depending on how the holding is going to develop. So we'll see about that, and I suppose we are just going to keep an eye on that. Now I'm quickly going to get the passengers out and update over here, since we are sitting at holding and they've probably noticed that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. As you have noticed, we currently started a holding a couple minutes before the approach into Key West. The reason is some technical equipment failure down at the airport. They're currently working on resolving this, so I do hope that this holding is not going to take too long. But for the time, thank you for your understanding, and we will update you as soon as we can commence the approach. Thank you very much for your understanding. Alright, so passengers are briefed, and with that we have pretty much done everything. So I suppose we'll just be sitting here in the holding, and then I get back to you when we start the approach later on.
American 2660, I've got you on my scope and I'll descend you further shortly. Stay on the arrival.
Roger, we'll return to the arrival, American 2660. Alright guys, that was 2 rounds in the holding over here, and we are actually getting pretty short to the minimum fuel for diversion here with just 5 minutes left, but he just said stay on the arrival, so I am going to exit that holding and we will continue that arrival. Alright, so going back to 250, yeah, tell you what, we'll let it do that. Now we just gotta pay some attention that we are not gonna get too higher on the approach, cause remember, it's an A319, so it's not going to decelerate very well. American 2660, request further descent. Descend and maintain 3000, American 2660. Okay, thrust idle open descent, alt 3000 blue. And we're 1000 high. So, speed brake is coming out. Alright, passing 10,000, light signs. And we do actually not need LS today. And then we got GPS primary high accuracy mode selector norm. Alright, approach checklist please. So, Barref, QNH 3003. Seatbelts on minimum, Barrow 425. Auto brake, medium, engine mode selector, norm, approach checklist complete. Okay, so far so good. Then we are approaching that path again. Descent. Speed. And here we go, back on path. Speed brake is back in. Okay, nice. So now, energy management is going to be key. Looking at the wind, currently it would be a 9-knot tailwind on the approach. On the ground it's probably going to turn, but for the approach itself, that means we gotta be rather careful and just get her down to approach speed early so that we got a nice and long stabilized approach. It's an A319, so we are familiar that it's not going to decelerate very well.
Miami Center on 132.2. For Cope 880.
Alright. So that's the keys in sight.
American 2660, thanks for holding. Cleared to leave the hold at GG.
Well, you cleared us on the arrival a little earlier already. So, lovely views at the Keys. I'm kind of hoping that I can actually visit the Florida Keys next month in the real world, which I would be really looking forward to. Alright, so 10 miles to chat, and from there I think we were cleared for the approach previously already, but I'm sure ATC is going to get back to us about that anyway. Alright, let's quickly advise the cabin. Hi, just to let you know, we are starting the approach now and expect to be on the ground in 5 minutes.
Understood, Captain. I will make the announcement now. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has informed us that we are beginning our approach. We kindly ask that you return to your seats.
All right, lovely.
This time. Thank you for your...
So the cabin is up to date, and with that we've done everything. I like it. That's how these things should always go, huh? Okay, approaching the decel point, and I think Key West CTAF 18.2. Let's pre-select that, and then we can start doing a little bit of manual flying over here. Autopilot off. So, Boss B is the final approach fix. That means we can arm approach mode once we are past Atnor. American 2660, please confirm we are cleared for the on-off approach runway 9.
American 2660, expect the RNAV on-off approach runway 9er.
Yeah, I assume that means we are cleared for it. So down to 1500. So, track 185, like that. Alright, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
American 2660, descend and maintain 1500 feet until established cleared for the RNAV runway 9er approach via chest. Altimeter 3003.
Altimeter 3003, descending 1500 until established, cleared RNAV runway 9er, American 2660. Looks like we are going to have those 6 knots of tailwind there.
118.2 when established.
118.2 when established, American 2660. Alright, flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. That's a sight I could get used to. That is definitely a sight I could get used to. Alright. Gear down. QS Tower, American 2660, established RNAV runway 9.
West Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 9er.
Continue approach runway 9er, American 2660. Okay, approach armed and final approach. Go around altitude 2000 set. Flaps 3. Speed check, flap 3.
American 2660, winds 100
Flaps full.
at 3. Runway 9er,
Speed check,
clear
flaps
to
full.
land. Caution bird activity.
Runway 9er, clear to land, American 2660.
November 60 Whiskey Alpha, contact departure.
Departure for November 60 Whiskey Alpha. Good day.
Okay, so nicely established on the final. Everything is stabilized. Landing checklist. Become memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. So, that's looking fantastic. We're completely established, the runway is in silent 12 o'clock, flight directors off, birds on. And runway track 093 is set. So, let's have a look at how the new mkstudios Key West is going to look like. I have a feeling there will be a lot of A319s and 737-700s soon to approach here, so really interested in it. Most definitely an interesting looking island, isn't it? Something tells me that that runway heading is not correct. Let's make it 095. That makes it easier to fly down here. Checked. And we are exactly 3 miles from the runway, so we're on a nice 3-degree glide. Oh yeah, that's a lovely view.
1,400 meters available.
Checked. So the puppy is in sight, and that's looking good. Checked.
Caution, short runway. Short runway.
That's checked. And continue. So everything is nice and stable. Then let's see what the new airport looks like. Spoilers! Reverse green. Manual brakes. 70 knots. Alright. Yep, we definitely saw those birds, but I don't think we hit any. And yeah, it was a positive landing, but that's exactly what you would do on a runway like this.
American 2660, welcome to Key West. Contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er, American 2660. Key West ground, American 2660, request taxi to the gate.
American 2660, taxi to Terminal 1 Gate 2 via Alpha 4, Alpha Bravo 11, good day.
Alpha 4, Alpha Bravo 11 to gate 2, American 2660, good day. So we didn't hit any of those birds, so let's switch that stuff off. So 2 hours and 47 minutes. That was quite a bit longer than originally anticipated. Okay, here's Bravo 11, and we're looking for gate number 2. Anywhere on there? No, that's number 6. Looks like we are going to the right. Start APU. And after landing checklist. Radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. Alright, number 3 and number 2 will be next. Lights off. So, here's our gate, and I will not ask what that thing is doing there. I will seriously just not ask. Okay, and stop. So the brake is set and shut down. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Okay. So engines are running down. The bacon is going off. And let's wait for the slides to get disarmed. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now parked at
Okay.
the gate. Please make sure to collect all your personal belongings. On behalf of all of us at American Airlines, thank
Parking
you for flying
checklist,
with us.
park and brake on chocks, brake set, engines off, wing light off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. Alright then, you can commence the deboarding please, and then let's go ahead and ensure that our chocks are indeed in position. Which they are. So the parking brake is released, because it would definitely have gotten a little warm here. Let's see. Yeah, 210, okay, I've expected a lot worse, to be honest. So, here we are, on block at 16:53, and the schedule would have been 17:05, I believe? 1700, okay. So we are nice and early, despite the 2 rounds in the holding. I like that. So, transponder standby 2000, then the fuel page is looking good. Yeah, using time acceleration and cruise, the fuel used doesn't register properly in the Phoenix. That is a known bug. But hey, we made it. So, welcome to the Florida Keys. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know how you liked the video, and check out the lovely new Key West scenery from MK Studios. And with that, I'm really looking forward to see you all again on the next one.